I guess y'all won't know that. Let's hope Danny's smart enough to edit this out. Because if he's not, then he deserves to be criticized every day. Show, and we have some more interesting questions to probe Danny's mind.
Yep, welcome back to RX Fit Tips. And Benny here will torture me with questions.
So Danny, lately I've been, I've been in the gym, and obviously it showed.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great to have some insight on metabolism, how it works, what allows me to speed it up, because there's so many different things and factors that people talk about, eating so many different meals, eating them spread out at a specific time, even not eating. There's the intermittent fasting out. I've even heard of cold showers and all kinds of things just to spike your metabolism. What are some things that you're aware of that speed up their metabolism?
That is such a big question. Actually.
That's what they want to do.
Well, I have to start off, and here's this. I'm going to put like a flash on the screen. It's just like nerd alert. Start off real quick with what metabolism actually is. And metabolism, when I was studying biology in school, essentially stands for the sum of all chemical processes in the body. And so it doesn't really mean a whole lot. In fact, in biology, they kind of laughed at the term metabolism because it doesn't really mean anything. And what's interesting about that is it also doesn't mean anything in the nutrition world or the weight loss world, the fitness world, all that stuff. It's something that has for some reason blown out of proportion, but people don't realize that it's not something you can turn up or down to weight loss, essentially, right? The metabolism just responds to everything that's going on in the body. Metabolism speeds up when it has to take care of the immune system, right, when you get sick. It has to speed up, it has to overcome things, right? Its job is to overcome things. So one of the discussions I have with my clients are, you have to optimize for your metabolism. Optimizing meaning that, let's say I have, for me particularly, if I have a sandwich with bread, right, with gluten, now my body has to take care of fight those, that gluten, has to take care of the carbohydrates. It takes longer to do that for me. It makes me feel a little tired. The reason why I feel tired is because your body's literally like, oh, hey, I'm going to spend all my time and energy onto breaking this stuff down, and it slows you down a little bit. But you're like, hey, but I put energy in my body. Why am I not getting faster? It's because it's having to take care of the metabolism, quote unquote. It's having to take care of that, right? And then, but the point about the gluten that I put out there is that it has to do extra work to tear that down. So it's doing that instead of doing something else that could be more efficient, like working on my immune system or burning weight or whatever, right? Okay. And so you really want to optimize your body to make make it as easy as possible for your body to function, to work, essentially, right? Okay. That, of course, that by that I mean get rest and water, sleep, blah, blah, blah. I would like to already tell people to never think about their metabolism as a form of metabolism, but more on reducing workload on their body, right? And reducing workload meaning if you have, I like to think about body as a bunch of meters, right? And it's things are going down throughout the day that I'm using memory and cognition, I'm getting tired mentally, then I'm getting tired physically if I'm running and working out, I'm using all this stuff, but I need to rebuild all that to maximum for the next day, and that's what sleep and nutrition and water intake is. Right. If you do all three of those very, very well balanced, everything goes to the top, and then I have a lot more for the next day. And what's cool about those meters is that they actually increase in their capacity the more that you can maintain and build on those, right? Really? You have more energy, or you'll have more quote unquote energy. You can just continue to increase. Okay. Because what's actually happening is all metabolism is based on mitochondria, because that's where all the energy production comes from, right? And the more mitochondria we have, the more efficient the mitochondria have, the more metabolism or energy or whatever you'll have, right? It all falls in the same umbrella. So you really think, I guess the actual answer to this is make more mitochondria. And how you do that is you tear muscle and you make more muscle, and then the muscle has to build more mitochondria cells. The more cells you have, the more work. Yeah, the more production cells you have. Yeah, muscles, neurons, that kind of stuff. Things that can do stuff. Yeah, a fat cell is not really going to have so water, sleep, and nutrition. If you have those, you can master those three things. Water's huge. It'll feel like oh my gosh, it's insane. And if you have all those three things, it'll feel like you have tons more energy. Honestly, it really will. Okay. So we can definitely cover each of those in particular in a future episode. Yeah. But that's what really we're talking about here. I just want to get across to see more. So I heard you say efficiency. What would, since metabolism, I guess you said it was the sum of all chemical processes in your body.
what would you say would be the most efficient way to go about running your body?
Depends. What are you optimizing? Like, what do you want to get out of it? What do you mean by running?
Oh, okay.
What do you optimize? This is a question that actually I ask a lot with all my clients because everyone, as you can imagine, is completely different. It's like, what are you optimizing for, right? Some you're my type A, like lawyer type people, want to never sleep, basically. Right? Okay. That's for them. Getting farther to sleep is optimal. And for me, it's not. Some people want to build more muscle. Some people want to lose weight. Some people want to have clarity in mind. So it depends on what you're optimizing for.
Okay. Well, that's good. I kind of like that it's stamped for everybody. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's great that it's tailored to each individual and what they're focused on.
It's actually not a bad idea. Moving forward, maybe we can like grab those, like, you're optimizing for this, blah, 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 you're optimizing for this.
Yeah.
Right, kind of good idea. And I feel like you can only really approach things this way if you really have a key understanding of biology. So I think you have to really understand the roots of the core, what's happening,
right?
And then you can kind of do this stuff. Otherwise, you're one of those people who thinks about calories all the time. Like, calories is another thing that they laugh at in biology. Is like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, it's just an energy transfer, essentially. It's just measurements. But like, once you really understand things on a deeper level, things get a lot easier when it comes to like weight loss and fitness. So then that's when like the psychology stuff comes in. Because I think once you understand all the information, you're the guy who knows everything but does nothing. And then you have the guy who does, or girl, who does everything but knows nothing.
Knows nothing, yeah.
And then you kind of want to maybe some kind of like they're in the and both of them actually kind of funny because if you have someone who's completely balanced, if you have two people who are like the extremes of those people, like one who knows everything and one who does everything, they kind of see the exact same amount of results. Because one who's just doing but working, like running in circles essentially. Yeah. Like, I know guys like that who like get up and before they go to the office, they're just like they work out an hour every single day. They just kick ass. They have no idea what they're doing. They just know like if I move, I'm great. Right? Yeah. And then the person over here who like knows everything will like do little stuff like they'll just eat like proper things here and like the other company will get like DNA tests and like genetic testing and like get their blood levels tested so that way they can make sure they're eating doing right things. But they're not going that hardcore at it, right?
They have like all these charts. Well, I found if I eat broccoli on every other Wednesday, my body fat percentage decreases by 12% over the course of 6 months.
Damn. That person's intense. So they basically get to the same point. So you kind of want to do a little bit of both, or at least work on your weakness a little bit. If you're the kind of person who likes to work a lot, or the kind of person who likes to think a lot.
Okay, well, that's actually pretty cool to hear that it's based on you, and you get to kind of decide what you're trying to optimize. Like you're saying, is it fat loss? Is it building muscle? Is it sleeping less? Is it sleeping more? So there's different ways to approach
your creative capacity, maybe
your machine. Creative capacity. Okay.
All right. Well, I hope that was good enough answer. Well, at least that's a very broad general answer.
This will
probably
broad.
Lead like a family tree. It'll lead into like.
There's so many branches in this because I want to talk about the muscle building. I want to talk about the neurons. I want to talk about what do you say mitochondria? Because I never can you. So I know we have cells that die constantly, and then we're also creating new cells. Does one ever outweigh the other, or is it a constant even?
Like you're thinking that you're killing more cells than you're making.
Yeah, or the other way around. Does it ever happen that way?
Well, what's interesting is that that state is called apoptosis. Apoptosis isn't just cell death; it's planned cell death. Like the cells are like, we're going to destroy these cells over here because they're just not efficient anymore. Right? Okay. And what they do is they destroy them and then we make new cells out of them. Right. So like they kind of break it down. Like we're going to use this, we're going to use this, we're going to use this. The body is very efficient. I like what it's doing. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So what's cool about that, and I love about apoptosis, is when you're fasting and you're not taking in anything. And this is another part with metabolism. Your metabolism is like, man, we have nothing to do. We haven't eaten anything in 3 days, right? Yeah. And your digestion system takes a lot of energy from the body. Really? Like if you think about it, you're turning something that's matter like this into cellular energy. I mean, can you imagine? Like we don't even have humans don't know how to make things that can really do that. Except for like coal, and we're just lighting it on fire, right? Or like oil, and we're just lighting it on fire.
That's true.
Like the most advanced thing we have is solar energy, right? So, but that's how amazing our body is. It can just literally turn matter into cellular energy. Yeah. So when it's not doing that, that's when apoptosis happens the most. Like, well, we're sitting here doing nothing. Let's just clean all these cells that like aren't working at maximum capacity. Which is why people say they feel so much sharper and better and faster. And they haven't consumed anything in days. Apoptosis is a really important thing to do, and also your body goes into it's very similarly called autophagy, which is apoptosis is a cellular death, but autophagy is the efficiency creating systems, I guess you can call it, of that world. And we'll talk more into that because that
what's that one called?
Autophagy. Autophagy is like auto, and then phage. Phagy, if I'm not mistaken, is like Latin. It's like Latin for.
This is some great stuff, man. This is all stuff I've been thinking about lately. So this is. Really, really, really good. Obviously, that's why I'm asking the questions.
Yeah. It'd be weird.
It's such a coincidence that I'm asking these questions that I was thinking about earlier.
Yeah, it's such a coincidence. All right. Well, I hope that was a sufficient enough answer.
Yeah, it was.
And then I guess we'll see you guys.
Yeah. Until next time. Hope you got a lot out of that. I know I did.
And your specific questions, send them to your Instagram, right?
Which one?
I don't know. Whichever one you want to give them.
Maybe I can create another one.
Just send them to at RxFitCo.
Yeah, send them there, and then he'll deliver them to me by courier pigeon.
Courier pigeons, yeah. I have a fleet of them out there right now, ready to go.
A whole fleet.
Yeah.
He has many cages on his.
Oh no, they're advanced trained pigeons. They just sit on the perch. They're waiting. Like, they can leave whenever they want.
He's lying. He has cages. Don't let him try to impress you like that.
Okay, damn it. I'm working on it.
They're in training though. They're pigeons in training. PITs.
PITs. Till next time, guys. Oh shit. Next time. I don't know what happened. I think you got a pigeon in my throat.